I thought I would come at you with a fun box of the month project. I think Teresa did a similar thing on one series on the blog a while ago, but I wanted to do a fall version and thought this would be pretty fun. So the first thing I really want to do is stamp out this gather sentiment because I don't know, it's one of my favorite fall sentiments. Forgive my lack of cleaning my Misty, but anywho, and I'm trying to think. Now, this would be really nice in cream, I think. Just because I feel like cream is a little more fall appropriate. But let me just cut this down a little first, just so that we're working on, a more reasonable size. I think 1 inch should be fine. So I'm just gonna cut off an inch strip and stamp it, and then we can trim it up later. Right, while I'm doing that, let me just sort of, well, I can trim this down a little bit. Let me just talk about the project. So what I'm thinking we will do is cover some of these mini composition notebooks, which you can find at Walmart and Dollar Tree and all the places. And I use these a lot just because I often have ideas and want to write them down somewhere. So there's something that I like a ton, especially for videos or craft projects or whatnot. I just think they're super convenient. And this almost exactly fits, which is good. The dimensions on this are 2 3/4, which we can sort of eyeball here. We probably, yeah, we want this more not all the way off. Well, I want the stamp to get fully stamped, but I want it to still fit on here. This is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I just cut two of those. And then out of the same paper on the other side, there's these really neat typography elements, so I just made a cute little tag because I've been in kind of a tag mood lately. And let's see. I think black I'll do. I haven't stamped anything in black in quite some time. And I think it works really well here. Just because you're going to have a lot of color with the various oranges and yellows. And having something that stands out, I think will be good. And there we go. I could have gone a little bit bigger, but there's not a ton of real estate to work with on this particular project. So I think what I'm going to do, whoops, get that out of the way. And hopefully not knock off over all my things, but I think this will just fit well, and I think I'll just trim this to the same dimensions. And then when I corner around this edge, I'll just corner around both of them, and I think that'll look quite nice. And I guess I can glue that down and do that whole process right now. But I don't know, are you more of a physically writing something down person, or are you more like a do it on your phone or your computer? I'm curious. I was always a write it down on my phone and my computer kind of person, and then I started doing more gratefulness journaling type stuff. And I really found that writing it down, it really sort of cements it into my brain. There we go. Just sort of trim off that edge. And this should set pretty quickly. And while that's setting, I will open up this pack. I like that these things always kind of come in twos, or threes in this case. I guess and they're really nice size for like a pocket or a backpack or a purse or whatnot. And basically, this piece will just fit in right here. And once you round the corners, I think this will be good. And I don't think you'll really notice. Yeah, I think this will look nice. So I think once this is together, it'll look reasonable because it's a little off on. You know what I mean? You have a little. It's a little tight on the top, but I don't think that will be too noticeable. Then I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch rounder, and there we go. That is not fully glued. I'll just give that another minute, and we can do the other side. And we could also, you can also use a different pattern on the other side. it doesn't really matter. I think since I don't think it matters. I kind of like, how do I like this better? So I think I will round this corner. Did I measure these slightly off? No, I don't think so. They're the same size. It seems like the tape on the front and the tape on the back is slightly different, so you will get a little bit of a border. So we could recut this, but um, we could also just apply a little tape. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just cover the spine in some washi tape. So I have this really fun, if I can find the beginning of it, this really fun, here we go, sort of, I don't know, grain, I guess. It's sort of, it's a very sort of fall pattern. I think we can just cover the spine with that. And then we will get similar look on both sides. And I'll just cut that off, run this over. Sort of eyeball that a little bit. I think that's, yeah, that'll be about correct. Oop. Nice to thing about the washi is it gives us a little room to work with. Yeah, and then that'll look great. The washi's not super sticky, which is nice. That's why I'm using my newly degooed scissors to get this off. Oops, and that's a little off. Let's do it that way, just to make sure this is even. There we are. Now the spine's totally covered. I'm just gonna cut off the remnant. And we have our spine together. That's still fine. And you could cover this another time if you wanted to. But our other glue should be dry. So I think we can get this piece down. And you could also use dry adhesive for this. These also make really nice craft fair projects because they're, fairly effective when it comes to the amount of paper you use. So pretty much, I just like to, we'll get random washi tape off my desk, but I just even off the sort of the front edge. And if it looks a little weird, you can also tweak it a little bit, and then I'll flip this guy over and actually I think we're gonna use, yeah, we're just gonna round these corners. And of course, it's up to you, however you like these things, whatever patterns you like, you can go, the sky's the limit. And with like from a decorating standpoint, the same is true as well. I'll just leave a couple little edges here around it, which I think adds kind of a neat sort of matte layer, but depending on if you like that or not. But basically, this is how it looks. You can see there's a little line of black on each side. Obviously, depending on how you cut this, you can either have that or not, but I actually kind of like it. I think it adds sort of a nice, visual break. And it works with this particular pattern as well. So now we're just gonna put down our tag. And all these elements are from the box of the month. This is it's pumpkin season pad. And coordinating stamp set. I think I'll just do this a little off center. I don't want this to go too far over the edge, basically, because if you put this in your pocket, you definitely want to keep this sort of low profile. That's also why I'm not using embellishments on it and why I didn't pop anything up. If you're using this more as a decorative piece or using it like on a tiered tray where you're just going to, um, not need it to be functional, you could definitely add a lot of dimension here. But this is sort of our finished project. And let me just zoom in on this so you can get a little better detail. And we basically have created a really nice fall or Halloween mini composition book that you could use for whatever notes you need. Grocery lists, craft ideas, whatever your particular pleasure is.